Garden, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at life coming back. It's the most beautiful thing. These are tomatoes. Yeah, these are, I could be wrong. Yeah, these are tomatoes. Now remember what I said, we are no less than 20 feet off the ground. This is all man-made built. What they do is they just drive up and they dump piles like that. And then they let it break down a bunch and then they grade it over. And they just keep doing that. And so everything that's dumped here is trees, like I said, and every single kind of garden waste from everywhere. And then it just regrows. Look at it, it's beautiful. So you could come here and you could get these plants, which is a main theme of my other videos. This is pig's foot or chinopsis, something. Pretty sure this is tomato though. Look at this. So, should I pull all these tomatoes out of the ground? Yeah, probably so. Look at this. Now I could steal. Did I say pull? I could steal, right? You're following me, right, ladies and gentlemen here? Could steal all of these tomatoes out of the industrial waste yard and put them in my garden, which I'm pretty sure science or vegans or somebody smart might say, oh my God, you're gonna die, toxic stuff is in the plants and all that, which is more than likely true. I don't really know how genetics all work. I just believe enough in some kind of God to believe that if I believe that it's okay, then it's going to be okay. And if you're actually starving or hungry, you know, people eat at McDonald's, okay? Every time you think about somebody telling you how bad your food is just because you sprayed this or that, or it came from Safeway or some kind of whatever, you're really getting into like the farthest categories of pickiness, which is righteous, and you should be extremely knowledgeable on nutrition and what's in your food and what truth in labeling means. But at the same time, if you do not eat, and let me put this way, all green meat is bad meat, okay? You tell that to the next person who says meat is murder, because that person has an exclusive lifestyle where they are able to choose what they like to eat, and they have such an abundance of food that they can be picky and they can study it and they can refine their search down to very precise, specific things. If you are a person of the norm, you probably do not have an abundance of food, and you really do need to survive and learn what food looks like. This is what food looks like. This is food, okay? Do you know how many different homeless street starving people I ran by today as I drove by? How many hordes of people were out there on the street asking me for food and money today? Do you know how many of those people are within 500 yards to a mile of this garden here? All of them. Do you think any of them could walk up here and identify any of this? Probably not. Is that a prejudice statement? Maybe. But these people can't survive. You have to be able to identify food. You can't relate to the person that's lost their mind standing on a street corner right now asking you for free stuff. Then don't talk to that person about being a vegan or not eating at McDonald's. And so back to eating at McDonald's. For every single billions of people served at eating at McDonald's, do you seriously think that eating these tomatoes that grew out of this so-called toxic waste dump that I classified it as are more dangerous? Or do you think they're less dangerous than the tomatoes that would come from your Big Mac or your BLT? Think about that one, people. Same applies for drug addicts. You know, you've done drugs and different, harmful things to your body, for any period of time, and then you're gonna suggest this one time maybe you shouldn't drink that, quote, Pepsi. Well, hey, I don't think you should drink Pepsi either for all the longest reasons of the badness of it, but it doesn't mean that it's ever really going to hurt you as bad as maybe doing those drugs that you did or something else. So you really need to think about those more extreme situations when it comes to gathering and hunting and survival. Survival is the topic here. So this right here is gopher plant. This is euphorbia. My personal opinion is that these may keep gophers and things out of your yard if you were to grow them in a complete circle around your yard. I don't personally believe that there are any plants that are going to stop gophers from doing anything. And what this will actually do is it will, in the same belief system of permeating, messing up the ground, so gophers and chewing animals don't like to chew on it. Well, it also will mix with the other plants, and it will sour plants. And so you really want to think about that. And if you're just some average commercial industry farmer, which a lot of these so-called organic and farmers and all these people are, they're really just industry. They don't see their plants. They don't actually hand to select and deal with their plants. They just drive over this thing with huge mega tractors. And so you're not going to notice if you're picking up tons of little toxic things or not, and mixing them with your organic, tomatoes. No. Organic companies do that all the time. Am I bagging on organic companies? Yeah, because it's a federally regulated word. So just because you call yourself organic, that means you're Monsanto as far as I'm concerned. Do you have a good food for me? Is it nutritious and valuable and healthy? Are you consciously aware of it? I doubt it. And if you are, that's the food that I'm interested in. Otherwise, I'll go eat at McDonald's. Tell me how bad it is, but at the end of the day, if my stomach is full, then your stomach is full. And if your stomach is full, then you may not be staring at a whole patch full of tomato seedlings ranting about the toxicities of eating McDonald's versus the toxicity of harvesting tomatoes out of a toxic field. It's a pretty logical subject in my opinion, and I'd love to hear your opinion on it, so please comment. Have a good day.